A refusal is a ticket for refusing a breath or blood test after you've been arrested for an OWI. No, that's not. You do not get a ticket for refusing the PBT, which is the preliminary breath test, or the handheld breathalyzer that an officer will give you prior or maybe directly after being arrested for an OWI. After the arrest process, when you're taken to the police station and offered a breath test at the police station and you refuse that breath test, then you can get a refusal. Or if after the OWI arrest you're taken to a hospital and asked to submit to a blood draw and you refuse the blood draw, then you can get a refusal for that as well. The 10-day deadline to request a refusal hearing is the amount of time that you get after your arrest when you're issued a refusal, which is a notice of intent to revoke operating privilege form. When a cop hands you that form after you've been arrested for an OWI, you have 10 days to request a refusal hearing in writing with the court where your OWI ticket will be held. If you go past the 10-day deadline to request a refusal hearing, then the court will revoke your operating privilege, you'll be found guilty of the refusal, and you'll have to install an IED. No, you will not be guilty of the OWI for not requesting the refusal hearing on time, but you will be found guilty of the refusal. A refusal will only count as an OWI in your record if you refused a breath test. If you refused a blood test, that will not count as a prior OWI offense on your record. Although in both situations, it does count as a serious offense on your driving record. Yes, it is possible to win a refusal hearing. The ways to defend a refusal are limited by statute, but it is possible to fight and win a refusal. The consequences of refusing are you get your driving privileges revoked, you have to install an ignition interlock device, and you have to pay an IED surcharge. Refusal is never going to be a criminal offense, so you won't have to suffer consequences of going to jail or having a criminal record. It depends on if you have a prior OWI in your record or not. The least amount of time you'd have to wait with no prior OWIs in your record is 30 days. With prior OWIs, it could be 90 days or it could be 180 days. Yes, even though you refuse the test, the police are still allowed to ask a judge for a warrant. If the judge grants the warrant, the police can then draw your blood without your consent and give you a refusal ticket. Yes, the OWI is a separate ticket than the refusal. They're one incident, but they're two separate tickets. An OWI, if you have a prior offense on your record, will be a second OWI, and a second OWI and higher, third OWI, fourth OWI, any higher level offense than a first OWI is a criminal case in Wisconsin with mandatory jail time. If you have any more questions about a refusal, please feel free to give me a call.